This is the first video in what is going to be, I think, a two-part series, maybe three, about the illustration process. You will see me design this cross with flowers. First, I'll be showing what the design process looks like when I'm working digitally and how I go about it. Then, in the second part of this short series, I'll go into detail about how I create a finished illustration. That portion will be done traditionally. So, a little while ago, I had gotten the inspiration to create a illustration featuring a cross with some flowers decorating it. When the idea first came to me, I took to Pinterest. And if I'm honest with you, I'm a little obsessed with this app. So I am going to gush just for a second here because Pinterest is a really big part of my process. When I'm working, I need a pencil, paper, eraser, and Pinterest, which I access on my iPad. Hashtag not sponsored, like ever. I'm quite smitten with Pinterest. It's my favorite place to go. And you'll find it is a goldmine of a seemingly endless array of photos and references that you can use to find some inspiration. And I've had a lot of fun saying this while making this video. You can save them and sort them for future use. There you go. How many times have I said that now? For this illustration, I went directly over to Pinterest to get an idea as to what direction I wanted to go in. There were a lot of options, as you might imagine, ranging from simple to ornate, some made of wood, plastic, or metal. I just sat and looked at dozens of designs and took mental pictures of the aspects that I really enjoyed. For this, I really wanted to make something more intricate, and I wanted to go with a design that I consider beautiful. The benefit of having looked over some references beforehand to get a handle on where I wanted to go with this is that I get to bring in ideas that other people have had while mixing in my own ideas and preferences. This creates something that might not be completely original or unique, but it is different. It's something that I made, it's something that I can still be proud of. I said this in the first person, but I'm trying to convince you to also feel this way, because that's how it works in the art industry. Hashtag making money. No, there's no money. This is a very small channel. I mean, if we wanted to get into a history lesson here, there are some very famous painters who kind of went at each other a little bit, sort of like, bro, I could do better. And so they would create basically the same exact painting, steal ideas, take it from other people, please. That's how the industry works, right? Change it up, make it yours. I had found a few images that sparked my imagination, and so I hopped into Clip Studio Paint because Photoshop doesn't work on my computer. I really like this program for drawing. I'm saying it like I don't even know what I'm talking about. God, what is wrong with me? I really like to use this program for drawing and line work. The main reason I'm going digital for this is to use the symmetrical ruler so that I don't have to get the symmetry right by hand, which would be time consuming and annoying because I knew I wanted a more complicated pattern. Digital is also a great way to get super clean line work because I can approach my work in a worry-free environment that you just don't have when working traditionally. I have more control over what I'm doing. I have layers, Command Z, and I can quickly and easily try out different design options without the hassle or mess. So I did a little bit of exploring, playing around with different design ideas, moving things around or redrawing areas that I wasn't completely sold on until I found something that I really liked. Going digital makes the experimental phase a lot easier as well. I don't have to draw out various iterations, taking up paper or being too precious with the work, I can throw things down and see if it'll work for this particular illustration. Draw something, assess its qualities, does it look good? If it does, I can move on to the next section. So, flowers, okay, here's the thing. This is probably the hardest aspect of a drawing, at least for me. I have a really hard time drawing flowers, and you'll see me work on these flowers for like a ridiculous amount of time. I'm sure that you've noticed that I've been working on them for a while. And in this video alone, I dedicated 3.5 minutes to getting the flowers just right. I drew the flowers maybe 4 times, but there is a method to the madness, I can assure you. As I work in layers, slowly building up the perfect shapes, because I'm going to be worrying about the direction of the flower, as well as the angle, size, placement. And this isn't just each flower is a separate individual. It's actually every petal. I designed every petal. It's important that the individual pieces of the image work in harmony, and that includes the individual flower petals. The final pass was the finished line work, where I worked on not only the basic shape of the flowers, but I added a ruffle edge to give the flowers a nice lively texture for the eye to enjoy. I thought about adding in more green foliage, such as different types of leaves, stems, and vines, but in the end, I wanted the cross to be the focal point, which meant that wrapping it up in vines and covering it up with leaves only pushed the cross into the background, making the flowers the main point of interest. There is nothing wrong with that, it's just not what I wanted here. So I ended up opting to keep as little area of the cross covered as possible, which meant working outward towards the edges. I played around with it, trying to get a better idea of what would work for this illustration, and I think I came up with a pretty good solution. I added in a few additional leaves along longer stems, flowers that were much smaller and more delicate, and you can see them growing outward from behind the larger flowers. I also added some berries to these stems to add in another pop of color and contrast. I spent the rest of the time working on the individual flowers and berries, and these little details were really fun to pencil in. Illustrations are really fun to work on because there are so many elements and details. As an artist, you can really spread your wings and utilize all of the knowledge that has taken you years to acquire, and it all accumulates into one piece of artwork. So I did a little bit of exploring, playing around with different So I did a little bit of exploring and playing around with different Daisine, where is this word coming from? That's the second time. So I did a little bit of exploring, playing around with different Daisine. What the hell? Design. The word is design. Design ideas. Different Daisine. Wow, why can't I say different Daisine? Different design ideas. Different design ideas. Different design ideas. Different design ideas. That'll be all for today. Thanks for taking the time to look at this video. If you liked the video and would like to see more, please comment below. hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. While you're at it, share this video with all of your artist friends. See you next time.